This is the Land of Legends Raceway Recap for Saturday, May 4th, and we started off in heat race action. Doug Elkins and Paul Small, they used to call it the Weekend Wars, and this weekend's war was between Justice League members Batman and Super Matt, as they worked hard in a heat race, even making a little bit of contact here in turns 3 and 4, as the action was hot and heavy here on this night, as Shepard and Britton having a little bit of a disagreement about what happened out on the racetrack. They would both race on, as Shepard would bring home a top 5. Britton had engine troubles toward the end of the 30-lap feature. We'll start it off with the Eldridge & Sons Scrap Recycling Street Stocks, their first feature of 2024, and Jimmy Grant and Mike Welch led the field to green. A good run early for Rick Krigo in the 5C, who had a new race car to his team, picking up the former Josh Pangrazio ride. Up front, Mike Welch put on a great battle early, following the 36 of Jimmy Grant as everybody worked to hug the bottom. But it was all Jimmy Grant in this one, who got out to a big lead at the end, and for the third season in 4 years, will get the opening night win at the Land of Legends over Mike Welch and CJ Guerry.
Had a great weekend. We won at Outlaw last night. We swept. We had 45 feature laps this week, and we led every one of them. So you can add, not even with this car. We got that old thing that, well, it's not really old, but it's a good car.
And just like they ended the season in 2023, it's Jimmy Grant and Mike Welch who will lead the Street Stock points to week 2. Mighty Boba 305 sprint cars for their first feature of the 2024 season, and it was Alicia Bay, the Queen of Speed, and BP80, Bobby Perro, the ESS Hall of Famer, that would lead the field to the opening green flag. There was action all over the racetrack in this event as they got it on early and often. One of those drivers who really made a big push early was Dylan Paddock, who brings the show every time he touches the racetrack, but an apparent mechanical issue would put him out of the race early. He'd come back to run laps later, but had issues again. Back up front, the battle for the runner-up spot was a good one. Look at Randy Years in the 2, battling with Alicia Bay in the 48A, and then here comes John Smith out of Rexville off the top rope as he's going to slide it up to the cushion. Well, what cushion there was there in 3 and 4, Smith was making work early in that 23 ride, and he put on a show for the fans. Incident between Dan Cron and Ethan Gray would slow the field with 12 laps to go, and you could see the tail tank was sheared right off of the 17E. There was a little bit of a methanol spill, and safety crew had to burn the methanol off of the racing surface before we could go back to green flag racing. Once racing resumed, Darryl Ruggles started to put on a charge, as did the 77 of Matt Rotz, and he says, "Look, Mom, no hands." Little bit of a spin there in turns 3 and 4 with just past the halfway point, but then here comes Rotz. Shot out of a cannon, drove all the way back into the top 5. Matt Rotz is going to win a feature before this season is done. But speaking of winning features, he's done it again. On opening night, the Remax Revolution, number 80, Seneca Meadows sponsored ride, it's Bobby Perro.
Waiting to get on the track.
You can smell the rain?
Oh, yeah, you can smell this.
Okay. Darryl Ruggles took a couple shots at him. You saw him that one time, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I was wondering if he was close enough or not.
So Perro, Ruggles, Years, the top 3 on Saturday night. Everybody got show-up points as CRSA was at Thunder Mountain. Bring it up to the Sterling Lubricants Sportsman, and it was the 30 of Nick Root and the Sterling Lubricants 38 of Zach Savaka, who won on at Brewerton on Friday night. Savaka would take the lead early, and he would never relinquish it, as the best racing of the night was for the runner-up spot, as Root tried to hold off Tyler Corcoran while working lap traffic, as they battled traffic early and often here in this one. But then here comes Matt Guerry, Gibbs in the 12G, who looks to be back to regular form with a new car to his team, and he battled hard here with Tyler Corcoran until turns 3 and 4, where he was really confident in the race car and just overcooked it right there, got over the edge. Oh, Frank Guerry, get skinny. Here we go. as Frank Guerri, a nearly Guerri on Guerri violence there in turn 4. And let's take another look at that one. Oh, Frankie, suck it in, buddy. Oh, that was a close one. Both cars would continue, and Guerri would recover for an 8th place finish. But up front, Zach Sabaka will pick up the win on opening night as he looks to go for a three-peat here in 2024. He is your race winner on opening night over Nick Root and Tyler Corcoran.
I'll be honest, we didn't change not one thing but the gears between last night and tonight. It's kind of hard going into the first week, not really knowing what to do. So, the car was pretty good last night and didn't change nothing.
All the chats.
So it's Sabaka, Root, Corcoran, Frank Guerri Jr., Tim Lafleur, the top 5 in points. Matt Guerri recovered for an 8th place finish. The Pepsi Big Block Modifieds were led to green by Kevin Root and AJ Slideways. Alan Johnson for their 30-lap feature on Saturday night. Got real close there going into turn number 1 as the Big Blocks for the first feature of the year would test out that turns 1 and 2 guardrail on the inside of the racetrack. Up front, good battle here for the race lead. 3 cars, for second, as Alex Payne worked around the 6 of Matt Williamson and now will work his way around Alan Johnson off of turn 4 to take home the runner-up spot as Kevin Root would lead early in the 34. But here's the pass for the win as Alex Payne went 3 wide on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. In turns 1 and 2, Matt Williamson making his home on Saturday night's The Land of Legends this season. Had a great run. Gets by Kevin Root here for the runner-up spot. But that would not be the only battle that Williamson would have throughout the course of this 30-lap feature. As Alex Payne would lead, Kevin Root, Alan Johnson would battle here. The rain would come on lap 11, and Greg Hickson, our race director, had to go down onto the racetrack and said, drivers, if you want to go racing, even though we've got a little bit of mist and rain in the air, give me a hell yeah. Every driver gave him the thumbs up as they came down the front straightaway. So as we go back to green, Alex Payne and Matt Williamson would bring us to it. Alan Johnson and Matt Shepard would wage war for the 3rd spot as Payne would look to pull away as he would get monster runs off the cushion in turn 2. Shepard would battle hard here with AJ Slideways off of turn 4. We saw how good a battle they had last year in 2023. Shepard goes all the way upstairs to the cushion in turn 2 to secure a podium spot. And here comes Batman in the 21. That would leave Shepard, who would try to arc his way down to the bottom to get around Matt Williamson. Williamson with the ponies off of turn 4, though. And what a battle this was. Shepard goes down low, catches a little bit of an imperfection in the apex of the corner, slips up the racetrack, and Williamson would make his way back by. Up front, Alex Payne left no doubt about it. Up against some of the best big block modified drivers on a Saturday night field. And for the first time in his career, he would win the big block feature on opening night to start off his 2024 campaign.
Yeah, man, I knew I had to do something there with, just the way we were racing at that point, and I knew he was going to try to, obviously block the middle and whatnot, because that's really the only way I could have had a run, but luckily there's just enough room to squeeze by, and then, just kind of set your pace after that.
Were you watching the board at all? Did you see that Williamson was up to second and that Matt was coming too?
Yeah, I seen Williamson got right by those guys, I think on that same restart, or something close to that. And I seen him and Matt was moving up through, and I just know if I kept doing what I was doing, I think I had a good enough car. But at the same time, those are some serious guys behind you. This is huge. This is we were on second last night and a win tonight, and I just want to say we got a friend going through some hard times. Terry, this is for you. He's I'm sure he's watching, and this win is for him. Also, I want to keep Mindy and Vern Koff in my thoughts. We lost them too. Great people. it's an unfortunate thing, and I'm so thankful we can be here, and I know them two are watching us the whole time from up there.
Hopefully I make.
Alex Payne will start the 2024 campaign atop the leaderboard over Matt Williamson and Eric Rudolph. Notice on the far right-hand column, heat race points 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are offered to the big blocks. Final feature of the night was the Lloyd's Contracting Hobby Stocks, as 2021 and 2020 Hobby Stock champions Justin Eldridge and Tyler Burnell will lead the exciting field to the green flag. 17 cars in attendance as the field works down into turns 1 and 2. Oh, Jeff Rex got up over the edge. His first race in about 35 years behind the wheel. Says, Jen, look what I'm doing out here. Jen says, get back on the racetrack and gather it back in here as we stay green. Field, this is the battle for second. Mark Manutlo and Justin Eldridge split a lap car going into turn 3, and this was an incredible battle between the 25s, 25B and 25J. They were all looking ahead to Tyler Burnell out front, but the battle for second got even hotter here as after a late race restart, Danny Carrick and the 90 of Nate Peckham would close up and make it a 4-car battle. Now a 3-car battle for the runner-up spot as Brighton Grant threw his hat into the fold. But on the final lap, Mark Manutlo, Mr. Smooth, defending track champion, trying to set up Tyler Burnell here into 3 and 4. Is Burnell going to slip? Is he going to slip? No, he will not. Tyler Burnell wins for the second straight season on opening night at the Land of Legends Raceway over Manutlo, Peckham, Eldridge, and Danny Carrick.
Continuing to figure out what the brake issue was for the last 2 years, kept changing master cylinders and stuff like that. And it was those little bump stops. You turn the car or turn the wheel too much, it stops and bump stops or whatever you call it. We cut them off, now we have no brake issues. So I actually got brakes around every corner, and I want to hit them, they're there.
17 cars were in attendance. What a great showing for the Lloyd's Contracting Hobby Stocks as Tyler Burnell will lead us going into week number 2. Coming up on Saturday, May 11th, it is the CRSA Sprints presented by A Verdi Storage Containers. Our nightly sponsor is A Verdi Storage Containers, and it's the first round of 3 for the Dispatch Brewing Company Challenge Series. Don't miss it. Saturday night, green flag at 6:30 p.m. And that brings us to this week's Driver of the Week for Saturday, May 4th. And this week, it will go to a driver who had a lot of tough luck last season, could have had 3 or 4 wins along the way, only got 1 in 2023, and he's already matched it in 2024. Your Driver of the Week for Saturday, May 4th is Alex Payne. He will now be in the running for our Driver of the Month contest coming up at the end of May, and each Driver of the Month will be in the running for this year's fan-voted Driver of the Year. Stay tuned for more great racing here at the Land of Legends Raceway.